can't say it was hard to find his shop because no one else has got the front of their shed looking like that here. Sorry to stop in front of you there. Good. The man himself. How you going? Good, mate? Oh, holy mate.
Sweaty and...
Good to see ya.
Dude, it's been a while. No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't. No, it's only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the first time. Welcome back to Pokey Mechanical. First time I'm actually doing this kind of sit-down chat, and I thought, while I'm in South Australia, I'm going to have a crack at doing it. And who better to do it with but Jay Duca. Now, if you don't know who Jay Duca is, look up Low Standards on YouTube. He has got some wild builds. I'll get some shots before we leave here of some of the stuff that's here, but I highly stress if you're into cars and into cool builds.
Weird. No, weird.
Weird builds. This is your man. So I would assume most people that are going to tune into this will already know who you are.
Okay.
Is what my idea of it is. And if you don't know who he is, you're going to get to know who he is with the questions I've got ready. So.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay.
I want to sort of dive into stuff that, like, I've watched a fair bit of your stuff, and I know you're from the drift scene and stuff like that. But I want to dive into sort of like deep down of like, you're a car guy through and through, probably more than most people I know.
Yeah.
And where, like, what age and where did you lose your virginity with skids and drifting and like, where did it all start? Like, is your family into race cars?
No, well,
what's the deal?
My dad's into cars, but I wasn't part of my dad's life as a kid, like till I was 13, so I didn't actually know him.
Right.
And we grew up crazy poor, women's shelters, all that, you know. We never had money, never had a dollar.
Yep.
So for me, it was going down the rubbish dump, we found a motorbike and we'd tinker with it. So we just, I guess from being so young, we learnt to just make do with what you got, you know? So we got the motorbike, we messed with it. And then when I, got a bit older, like 15, I started obsessing about cars. Couldn't afford them.
Right.
And that's when I started to get real, like, heavy into cars and just seeing them around, going to car shows, going to shops, and I'd walk into mechanical shops, and it was hard, I think, like, for me. I'd go to shops, I didn't want to know you. I guess I might have looked like I had no money or whatever it might be, and I found that nobody,
No one gave you the time.
Nobody. I just wanted a sticker or anything, and that's why these days what I do, I'm just like all about it, I see somebody walk up to me, I'm just like all the time in the world for them. That's why, the position I'm in is awesome for that, to be able to do all the things that people wouldn't do to me. Like, I just wanted them to let me jump in the driver's seat or something like that. But so just growing up with zero money and just my mum and two brothers, and none of my family into cars. My brothers, my mum, none of them, So just a weird thing I took on. All my friends were into sports and I just loved cars and just loved cars, so but had no money.
what was your first car? When you finally got some money, what did you do? Did you have a job?
Nah, so I actually got a lawnmower off the nature strip. I swapped it for a rusty Datsun 200B. I swapped it for a car and I was 16.
That's why he's into Nissans.
Yeah. And it was smoky and I'd go to Kmart at the time and just get enough money to get a tin of bog, and just bog a little bit and sand a little bit and then get enough money for a pressure pack, paint a little bit, and as I went, I'd just get a little bit of money to do a little bit of things to it. So, and that's where it begun for me. Datsuns were cheap. I still love Datsuns today, but it was all about what I could get my hands on. I love Geminis.
And you still love rusty Datsuns?
It's funny. Like, if I was to see a rusty 200B, I'd be like, awesome, I love it. So it's still...
Or an RX-3.
Yeah. Well, that's like upper class cars now, isn't it? But so I just fell in love with cars and... Just worked out a way to get one, and just from there, just work out my whole life up until, say, 10 years ago was I'd be able to build a car up over a year or two, but I'd have to sell that to get the next car. Right. You know what I mean? To fund the next car. Yep. So, so that's kind of my start into it. It was a hard slog, but just crazy passion.
Yeah.
It's all I would think about, I just like...
And that's what
even
we
to
still do things.
Yeah, even to get that $10 for that tin of bog was just like, I've got the money, can't wait, you know, like hanging. And all my mates are like, what's wrong with you? We're going jumping off the jetty or whatever. For me, it was just cars. So yeah.
Yep. Awesome. So what was your first car that you ever actually did like drifting or did a skid in or
I guess my 200B.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
We used to go down to the local boat ramp and we'd like put soft drink on the ground and just do like a one wheeler, and then we'd jump the fence of a local scrapyard, pinch one tire, put it on, do one burnout, you know, and drive around my local neighborhood. No joke. I was the only person with the car, and we'd drive it till it ran out of fuel and we just push it home. We were good. Like, we just got that much enjoyment out of that drive. Doesn't matter where we ended up, we just push it home.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so we used to live like where we used to live, which was a Sullivan's Beach, which is obviously, yeah, you guys know, but everything's kind of a bit uphill and we live down the bottom. So wherever we were cruising, past my mates' houses, whatever, we just push it down the hill and go home, you know, and wait to get the money for more fuel, go driving again, or go do a burnout down the boat ramp. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess going from rusty old cars and then swapping and getting one, you've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
And you've got quite a successful sort of business that's going on to be able to build some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably don't know about what is funding you being able to buy these and build these and all that sort of stuff. So you've obviously got a lot going on in the background.
Yeah.
You're doing what
I guess like it's the same thing which went on for a long time it'd be somehow car related. I'd buy a car to sell it to make money, and always like wheeling and dealing. And then I got enough money to do a container from Japan, which I went over with my mate. We cut the cars ourselves, we loaded it ourselves in the snow, brought it back here. Then I'd start selling containers and start making more money. And so we used to do 3 or 4 containers a year. So just kind of built it up along those lines. Everything I've ever done, like to make money, has been somehow car related.
Yep.
If it be buying, selling, picking up wheels for $800, selling them for $1,200, or, you know, like even $100, just seeing that little bit of money in things, from swap meets to, you know, I've got lots of like cool stories that, you know, that I could tell you how I just...
What's a standout one?
Oh, there's just so many. Like I picked up a 54 split window combi for free. Upside down it was on its roof. Everybody's like, who cares? The roof was rusted out, you know? I'm like, I want it, you know? Got it back here and put it on eBay, sold it for $12,000, you know? And
wow.
Everybody's like walking past it, like, I'm like, I need that car. I can see it. It's all good. It's worth the effort, you know? Had no wheels, no nothing. But yeah, within a week, you know, I've got this free vehicle for a day of effort, which I turned to $12,000, you know? And so many little stories like that. And same was at auctions. There was let's say 2010 Transit van, and it was 2011 when I bought it, and they were going for $50,000. I knew someone that wanted one, and they said, "Oh, look, we've got a $40,000 budget to get one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I went to auctions and it had sitting on the front window and the rocker covers off. It said blown motor. I'm like, it's only a year old. How? It doesn't make sense. Let's stuff it. So 20 grand I paid for it. Their budget. I said to them, I'll get you one for 40,000, no problems. Got it back. The cat converter had collapsed. Knocked it out, boom, sold it to them. So just taking big chances and just like, can't be right, you know? And
I think you're probably a bit of a person that you back yourself with, knowing I can work this out.
I take risks on everything.
Doesn't matter what it is, you'll have a crack at working it out.
Still today, like even the cars I build, like a lot of people will measure and study and work it out, but you end up scaring yourself off doing it.
Yep.
So for me, I'm just like, stuff it. We've bought the 2 vehicles. We're making this work, you know, we're going to merge them together, whichever way it is. So that's how it's been my whole life, just learning a way to make it work, no matter what, you know?
So over, I guess, the progression of getting to where you're at and all that sort of stuff, you got into drifting.
Yep.
Have you been competitive in drifting? You've done a bit of it.
Yeah, I've done some comps.
You did, like DCA, that's where I first met you, DCA in Tassie.
Yeah, I was lucky. That was a fantastic series. Like, I met people like you who I still know I don't know how long ago that was. Let's say 8 years ago, you know?
I reckon it's 11 years ago.
Oh, there you go. Like I'm
long
still in constant contact with 40 people from then, you know? And that's why events are just awesome. I'm not a competitive driver. I never cared. Like I'd enter a comp and they'd be like, oh, so good, Jay, if you just hit that there a bit deeper. I'm like, that's not as fun. I want to hit the dirt here, you know? So I'm not that guy, and which is all good, I get it. It's just, for me, it's just all about enjoyment and taking passengers and skimming the wall or whatever it might be. So I'm not a competitive person in that sense. So yeah, and drift for me was, I used to enter burnout comps.
Right.
All my mates started drifting, my new car mates.
Something I didn't know about him.
Yeah, so I used to enter burnout comps. I went to Summernats and won 6-cylinder burnouts, and used to do local Gazanats and wind power skiing and wind best 6-cylinder and stuff like that.
What were those? What was that car that you did?
A Cressida, so MX-83 with the 2JZ. Same, it was 2007.
Yep.
So it's before people were big about 2JZs. I'd just seen it at an importer's with a big T78, big plan like that. It's awesome. I need that motor.
You imported that whole car or just?
No, I bought it from an importer's, like in Adelaide. And then I was like, what's this going to fit in? You know, then I learnt that they go on Cressidas easy because building it in my backyard, you know, limited skill. And then made 450 kilowatts. And everyone's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
This is in an era where people had 200 kilowatts.
And that was a big number.
It was a big number. So I'm this young idiot going like, yeah. So I kind of got into that. And then drift for me was just something, I can muck around out here. Yeah. So yeah, I've never taken it serious enough to have a sorted car or even the same car. I'll do an event and do a next event in a complete different vehicle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yes.
It's more your passion is building cars and enjoying that sort of process.
I love it.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I still do, you know. We more so build, hence why I'll build a car, even like weeks out from being finished. I'm on to the next car. I'm plotting and planning and,
like I heard the conversation
I'm doing
earlier.
It right now. I'm doing it right now.
The conversation earlier.
Yes.
So Jay's in the middle of right now as we're filming this is the VL is to be getting ready for Summernats. And you're putting in mega hours to try and get that ready.
Yeah.
And now you've got another project you've just announced.
I got yesterday. I got the car yesterday.
And you've already couldn't sleep last night.
Oh, I couldn't sleep. My mind is like, I'm researching, I'm emailing companies, I'm like, you know, I'm fully deep into it and I can't even concentrate on the VL, but I have to. So
how do you manage that? Like, do you have a process in your head or?
I kick myself in the ass constantly.
Yep.
I'm like, stop being a dickhead, you know, and get on with it. Same as when I'm sick or I'm tired or have an off week or whatever. I'm just constantly just like, come on, you know, stop it.
Yep.
So I am my biggest, I guess, critic's word, but I'm just like, I kick myself in the ass and come on, get up out your seat.
And motivate.
Just get it done, you know, and YouTube's a massive motivator for me. Like it's crazy.
When you've got someone watching over your shoulder, so to speak, like waiting for you to put out the next video.
Yeah.
That's where you know that within yourself, right, I've got to do something here to get something else out there to show that I'm still doing it.
I guess for me, like I haven't really given people like, I'll make sure I upload every Friday. I still do it when it works. Yep. I'm not doing one tonight, for instance, because it's just not working. We don't have the footage and, but for me, once I say it, I've got to do it.
Right.
Like I got to do it, especially if I say it on YouTube, if 10,000 people see it or something. Yep. So I'm building this car, I'm taking it here. So I can't stop then. So it's fantastic for me because I've got cars which I've pushed in the corner 3-4 years ago because I haven't had that thing. And people are, you going to do a video on that car? I was like, no, I'm not ready to finish it yet. So I won't do a video on it. But yeah, so YouTube and social media, I guess, you know, all the positive people and they really drive me. Yeah, you know, you coming down and showing interest and it's what gets me going and keeps me moving.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a good part of our sort of business model.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's go on to that. What made you go, I'm going to do this one day? Like, what got you over the line?
I'm going to do what?
YouTube.
Oh, my friend. Yeah, my friend Paul. He does editing stuff for Street Machine. Paul Cronin.
Right.
He does a lot of their drag challenge. Just lovely. He's a friend of mine. He's a lovely guy. And he just, come on, let's do YouTube. I'm like, because I wasn't even really doing much social media other than just posting rubbish on Facebook.
Because you made a status on Facebook that I read a couple of months back saying, like, if you're ever thinking about getting into YouTube for your business, do it.
Yeah.
Like, you highly rate doing
because there's no negatives. I don't see them anyway. And I look at myself as, older, overweight, all this thing. I'm awkward in front of the camera, but it's all good.
Yep.
People are just, there's so many good people out there. They outweigh the bad, and have a bit of thick skin, and I'm ready. Someone can call me whatever, I'm just like, it's all good.
Yep.
Especially the cars I build. I've got to be ready to take it as much as anybody, I'm getting Commodores and doing them up so different.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's
the post that Street Machine did sharing your your build with the rotor in the VL. Wow.
Yeah.
The comment section on that. If you want to see Holden people hate on a man with a Holden, that's the post.
And it's weird because I could never put that effort into giving someone crap about building a car. Like, even if I thought it, I just couldn't. I just let them go, And to me, car building is just hot rodding.
Yeah. It's
like, there's no engine that belongs in any car. There's no wheels, there's no style. It's just like, that's just my style.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but I can look at somebody's car and just appreciate the effort, the whatever, the creativity, or I'll find a way to appreciate anything because I understand that painting that car took effort and money. It's, so I'll kind of see that. But yeah, back to the YouTube thing, Paul just kept asking, come on man, let's do it. And he actually started my channel for me, like done it all, got it all set up.
Yep.
Come down here, he'd film stuff. I'd film nothing and he'd just make a video.
Yep.
And then obviously I built the VN rotary.
Yep.
It's got a theme here, rotary Commodores. And it started to take off a bit more, and we've kind of got the summer nats, and I just seen what it did for people, how into it they got, and
you met people that were viewers. Did you?
It's more than just them watching something. They're like part of it. Yep. It's different. Hey, you would see people really invest in you and what you're doing, and they know everything. I've got 7-year-old kids going, oh, I love the Rusty RX3 with your 14-inch deep wheels. I'm like, what? You're watching it that well, like you're understanding it. So to me, it's such a good platform.
You've got such an innocent, authentic personality on there.
Oh, okay.
Completely you.
Yeah.
Which I really like because there's so many people that get on YouTube and they try and act in a way.
Yeah.
But you've just put yourself on there as you are.
And I'm loving it because
fantastic. It
means like...
And that's what I think people connect to.
We got like our edits are a bit rough. Our filming, our sound, me, I'm filthy or whatever, Yeah. But it's just accepted now. I haven't started off in this fake voices and this extra hyper person. I've just started off as me, and it's easy to maintain, isn't it?
That's it.
We just film day to day. There's no bullshit. There's no clickbait. I give away everything pre my videos coming out. I put it on Instagram. I'm the worst YouTuber, where normally people are like, oh, you wait till you see this engine combo. I'm like, here's pictures, videos tomorrow. I ruin it all the time because that's just not me. I'm not one I want people to click and watch because they want to be watching, not because of some bullshit that I've spun,
So that's what it is for you, but what has it done for what you're doing and all that sort of stuff? So
huge.
Do you believe that that's created you to be able to go to the LZ World Tour?
100%. 100%. Because
you wouldn't have been there if it
no way. Because end of the day, look, I know Jason and I know people that were a big part of the event. So there's a possibility because I'm in the circle, I was already in the circle. But end of the day, like, I was there because I've got well-known vehicles. I guess people might come to see them or whatever it might be, and that's the era we live in.
Yep.
Isn't it? It's like you've almost. I'm not saying I'm somebody, but you've got to be somebody, which is a bit sad, really. You know, but I get it. That's that whole event. The whole event is a spectacle and a show.
Yep.
They don't want to see 20 S13s with SRs drifting.
No.
As cool as those vehicles are, that's all it is. You stop looking after a while. So I was there because of my unique builds.
Well, I reckon the most viewed short on my Facebook is your
cool.
your two cars.
Cool.
The Prairie and the Odyssey here.
Yeah.
Them side by side.
Yeah.
Campaign. That was awesome.
Yeah. It was awesome for me. Trust me. You know, get to drive with such a top bloke in my own vehicles. Like, there's nothing like it. I don't think it'll ever happen again.
At the biggest event.
So it was such a good way to showcase, I guess, some Aussie builds, some Aussie style, and it was fantastic. But YouTube opened that door for me. It's opened so many, you know. It's kind of got me places, and it's going to be taking me places that without it I wouldn't be there, because I'm unknown, you know, without it. So yeah,
that's cool. Speaking of unknown, someone that's not unknown that you got to meet at LZ was a pretty big deal for you, wasn't it?
The
Mad Mike.
So good. I've seen
you met him before?
Yeah, I have, but not so. It's not so personal, because say 6 months before he messaged me, he said, "Love your builds," you know what I mean? And started following me on Instagram.
Oh wow.
I'm just like, "Oh man, thanks so much. You're awesome." Blah blah blah. And over that 6 months, we've just been chatting.
Yep.
Just like, going back and forth with each other. So
you recently sold him a part.
Yeah, I did, out of my RX3. Yeah. But we pulled up to LZ. He was the first person to walk up to us.
Yeah, cool.
First person, just chatting to us, and everyone's like fussing over him. I am too on the inside, but I'm just like, "Hey man, casual as," but you know he's one of those guys that I'm happy people look up to him, because he's proper.
Yep.
You know, he's
the real deal.
He's the real deal. You know, there's plenty of, but whatever. He is awesome. Good bloke, good style. Just does it right, you know, and really pushes the right points, and he's so good. He's so good for the next generation, and
doing it for the fans, and
he's all about it, because I watched him chatting and signing non-stop.
Yep.
I watched other people like, you know, I'm done.
Yep.
And he was like 10 times more popular than they were, but he was just like all about it, man. I'm like, "You must be tired." I spoke to him. He goes, "That's what I live for." I'm like, "I can tell," you know. So yeah, awesome. That alone was worth going to that event for me.
Yeah.
So
cool. I got a cool shot when you were actually sitting in the driver's briefing on Saturday morning, and you were at the same table.
Oh yeah, he come and sat next to me. I'm like, "This is sick."
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm constantly chatting to him. So
That's an awesome thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, my hay fever's flaring up today.
That's so good if you're crying. Yeah, it's emotional.
With the dry heat here. I did have other questions, and the LZ World Tour is a total event. Like, obviously you had, I was watching and praying you were going to make it there, and I'm glad you did, but you were still setting your car up when you got to the track. You were starting to that fine.
Yeah.
So you had to get the Odyssey ready, and you were sorting out power steering issues with that.
And we clutch night
issues.
before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So run us through that, like all the prep going into it.
Yeah, the night before this had no gearbox in it. Wow. We were machining bits to make the clutch work, all while getting the Prairie ready, which we rocked up to the event with no brakes. We were literally putting calipers on at the event. I did a skid out the front on the tow rope, tying it to the forklift, so I could test if it made power and felt all right.
Yeah, right.
And then we got there, and then we finished the brakes, and that was not just I've just finished it. I'm like, no, I'm building it today.
Yeah.
So we did that all at the track. So yeah.
Yeah, you seemed like you were awesome to be there, but by the end of it, I got the feeling you were pretty exhausted by the end.
I get to a point where I'm just like so satisfied that I'm just like, I'm good. You know, there's nothing that day one. There's nothing that could have ruined that event for me. You know, I was just to do a couple of laps and show people my cars. It was a success. You know, so
yeah. It was cool to see how many people were getting photos with it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Having you sit with the Prairie out there in the show area.
Yeah.
People getting to sit in it and all that stuff. That was cool.
And I offer that to everybody. Like if I see kids or anything, I'll sit on it, get in.
Yeah.
You know, like please. Are you sure? I'm like, please.
I do the same with my
This makes it for me, you know. Like it's going back to when I get into cars, like it's all I dreamt of. Just 5 minutes of their time, you know, and just I didn't get that from anybody, so that's why I'm opposite now. I'm like, I seek people out. My missus is like, oh, there's a kid, and he's got your sticker. I'm like, where is he? You know, I've got to find him. So yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yes.
So over all the years of all the builds and everything you've done, obviously, I think I can guess your Prairie is probably your favourite so far.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there something that hasn't been on social media that's one that's your favourite from the past?
Oh.
That'll blow you away? Like
Yeah,
you wish
look.
you still had, or?
Look, I built a Datsun 1600 when I was, I don't know, let's say 18, ground up.
Yep.
Minimal budget, but I just put so much love into it. I would spend 2 hours on a bolt, you know, like cleaning it, just making everything immaculate. It's one of those cars, you know, couldn't afford to keep it.
Yep.
Had to sell it to build the next idea in my mind, you know. So, but no, honestly, it's my whole style has changed over the years. You know, you move and change. I'm into big trucks now and stuff like that. So, just my whole style has changed. So I wouldn't say there's cars from back then that I wish I still had, because that was just me then.
Yep.
And I enjoyed them proper. And now this is me now. So only difference is I'm building cars now and I'm able to keep the cars.
Yep.
So the build stays. So that I might enjoy that in a year. I might enjoy that in 3 months. It's good to be able to keep them. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. You're building the radiator that I've seen that you were building in before there. Is that something that's a customer's car, or are you just doing that for yourself?
No, so we don't do customer work anymore. We used to.
You don't do any customer work?
Zero.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh, look, we do.
Yep.
Mates.
Yeah, mate.
We get conned into some little something, you know. It just gets dropped here. It's like, okay.
So your main income is just importing and selling?
And I don't even import anymore. So basically, I had a company next door. We had 5 people here.
Yep.
We used to make scientific equipment.
Right.
So it was stainless steel work. We used to make like stuff for the government, like soil sampling ovens and weird scientific equipment. And I ended up selling the company to one of my customers for a good amount.
Right.
And I thought, stuff it. I'm going to spend the next few years just building cars.
Yep.
Like, I've got this shop. With the company, when I started it, when I bought the company, it came with all the equipment and all the old 50s and 60s folders and all that stuff. And I just sold the business name and the product we had and the contacts. No, I've got this shop. I'm going to spend a couple of years building cars, and that's when YouTube started.
Yep.
So now the crossovers starting to really happen. You know, I've got some really, really good companies behind me now. YouTube money, all those things. I'm right at the little crossover where I'm like, hold on a second, I don't need to take on another customer job again.
Yep.
You know,
so you're nearly at that point where you're enough from
where it's all good.
That
the whole merch thing and. Yep. So I feel like we'll never have a customer's car again. Because sometimes customers are the worst part of having a shop or a business. Hey, there's fantastic ones out there. Yeah, I've had them.
Sorry, if you are my customer, I have got fantastic customers, and there are ones that I really, really like and enjoy, but there's ones that won't be coming back.
You can get one customer that just makes you just want to shut your shop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If it be they complain or they want to, whatever it might be, it's the effort you put in, and it's like, wow, I just want to close my doors, you know?
Yeah. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
That's a question that gets
so
brought up too many times.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm just real lucky, and I'm really in a position now where I'm just every day I'm like, whoa, this is awesome, you know? And yeah, it's just, how am I just buying cars, building it, making money still? And at the end of the build, I've got the build. You know, just like I said, having those companies and that backing now and the support and cool. It's huge.
Very cool
and I've been picky with the companies that I work with, because this is products I like.
Yep.
I'm not going to work with everything, you know, and you start to get offered a lot on YouTube. So we're just being picky and it's starting to pan out. So
that's
just working with real good companies, real good quality stuff. Just do all my stuff, but getting money for it. Weird. Still weird. Hasn't kicked in. So yeah,
Pinching yourself kind of.
Yeah, because I used to be a trolley pusher at Marion Shopping Centre, and I used to make more money than anyone because I could work more hours than anybody. You know what I mean? I was bringing home back then like $800 a week, and everyone's like, "What the hell?" But I was doing late nights, I was doing Saturday, I was doing Sunday, I was doing every day. Go home, do 3-4 hours in my car, but $800 a week, blow all on my car. Could barely afford the ticket to get back to work the next week. I'd do it all again to get the money, you know. And it's to now. I still bust ass. Like I do 12-hour days. I start at 4 a.m. You know, so sometimes 3 a.m. We just do massive days Monday to Friday, but. Yeah, it's like living the dream. For me anyway, you know, just being dirty and being tired at the end of the day. I love it. So, yeah.
No, it's good to have that, being able to just go home and know that you've put in a really good day's work.
In that, there's nothing better.
You're exhausted.
Yep.
But you just go to sleep like that when you need to because you know you've put in. It's good.
Yeah, if I have a lazy, or if I'm like buying cars and auctions, or I'm chatting to people, or I'm going picking up stuff for work, and I'm just like, go home and bloody hell, worst day. I'll make up for it tomorrow, you know. But I've got a young fella who works for me now too, you know. So he's just awesome. He's come with some skills, but he's also just learning like super good, and he's passionate. Passion's huge to me. If you're into it, it'll work out, you know. Your skill is secondary because you'll just work that out if you've got a bit of passion. So
talking about skill, are you qualified anything?
Nah, nothing. I got my pen license at school, but I'm like super messy. I don't actually know if I got it, but I know I went for it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a proper bum. I started year 12 and left because it wasn't for me. I wish I left school earlier because I'm pretty sure I've got ADD plus.
100%.
I think I've always had it, which I'm fine with because it keeps me creative and I work with it. And I look at my little daughter, she's very similar to me, and I'm like, I don't want to ever kill that creativity in her. We'll just manage her, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of glad that no doctors said anything or give me anything to dull me. It's a struggle, life's a struggle to concentrate, I still do, hence the second build happening. And that was from a text message the night before, like picture of the car. I'm like, I need it. It's like, I'll drop it off tomorrow. I'm like, okay, my mind's going crazy, you know? And like I said, I manage it, and I feel like that's the part of why I obsess over things and why I get shit done. It's and why my brain goes here rather than a VL with an RB30. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I think that's a pretty good video.
I talk too much for you.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'd love to keep talking to you, but I think that's plenty.
Yeah.
So give yourself a plug. What's your YouTube channel? Where can people find your merch? That's normally questions for my missus. She takes care of everything. So, low standards.
Low standards on YouTube. Low standards J on Instagram. And just low standards, I'm pretty sure, on Facebook. And then obviously I'm J Duca. So we got a store on Big Cartel. I think it's Low Standards Shop at Big Cartel, something like that.
It'll be
so we got heaps of merch and stuff like that, like high quality stuff. And lots of stickers, like most people do. So that's basically everything. To me, YouTube's my main thing I focus on. I'll do Instagram stuff as like in between stuff. I've probably done 10 TikToks or something, but you know, I just don't go on there enough. I don't follow it. I don't understand it. And I see all your stuff, which is good. That's obviously the platform that's been working well for you.
Well, yeah, funny enough, I was actually one of the first Australian mechanics. I think I might have been the first Australian mechanic on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I pretty much sort of seen a few American mechanics on there, and I'm like, scrolling Mechanic Australia, and nothing came up.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to give this a go.
Yeah, how good.
My first week, I had 5,000 followers.
Wow, that's unreal. I think that's where I'm at now. Yeah. I don't know exactly, but like I just found that I went onto TikTok to try and promote my YouTube. I found there was no crossover.
Yeah.
Like however many followers you've got, and now you're doing YouTube. Are you seeing them coming over there? Nah.
It doesn't really come over. There's the odd one when I do promote bits and pieces, but I don't really sort of connect the dots with it anymore.
Nah, neither.
I'm just really focused on YouTube now.
Oh, cool.
So I am doing shorts on YouTube.
Yep.
That's working really well for me.
Oh, awesome.
And then that's something I should probably talk to you about, because that's actually creating more income than my main videos.
Yeah.
So
Your shorts are?
Oh, massively.
Wow, there you go.
Just dumb stuff.
Yeah, I've probably done 2.
I've got one on there where Saul, he's trying to undo a transfer case off the back of a 4-drive gearbox, and he's wound a bolt out, and the bolt's jammed to the transfer case from the gearbox.
Yeah.
With the battery ratchet.
Yeah.
And because the switch is on the back of it, you can't turn it. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I've made a short on it, and it's made like $45.
Yeah, that's
30-second video.
Yeah, that's unreal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how good.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the whole YouTube platform, money, whatever it might be, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I find that people take you so serious on there.
Yeah.
Companies. I'm not saying they don't on TikTok, because I don't know. But it's one of those things, you really got your face and your brand on there, and you're talking, and a lot of companies are just like all about it, you know. So
I think the more real you are, the more connected people are, and that's what companies are looking for.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for people that are genuine.
I could be more professional, you know. I've never approached anybody for sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even what people do, but I could do this better.
Yep.
But I'm just doing it a way that works for me.
Yeah.
It really doesn't affect my life in a negative way, the time or anything. I'm just living my life. My missus will spend a couple hours editing a video. It'd be a little bit rough. I'm just like, just put it up. And we put it up, you know, and we move on. So yeah, the platform works for me.
Oh, that's cool.
And I guess anybody can just have a phone and make a channel.
Yeah. So what would be some advice for, say, baby J Duca is watching this going, I wish I could do that. And he's like got the future of cars and everything ahead of him. Yeah. What would you say would be your advice of where to go and what to do and what to focus on in life and all that?
Yeah, look, I sometimes, I wish I did YouTube 10 years ago, because I would have 100 builds under my belt. Yep. I have so many builds that people have no idea about, you know, and crazy builds. But I don't think I was ready for YouTube back then. No. Doing silly things.
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't think it was right for me then, you know? And I just treat people better than I would have back then, and I'm just a nicer person. I really understand now, where I feel like I didn't then. So I feel like the timing was right now for me. It wasn't a missed opportunity. It was a good time. But I would talk anybody into doing YouTube. And for me, the biggest advice I'd give anyone is cut the boring shit. Like I see people will make a video, and especially starting out, it's all good if you're massive, LZ, people will watch you get a hamburger. But starting out, like even that moment when you pick up that part and you walk into your car, cut the walk out. Get the part, be at your car. You know, that's what I'm learning, just cut those bits out. You know what I mean? Cool. Anything, don't have yourself like, you know, I'll show you this, and you walk across the car park, you know, just cut it out. Just try and action, like TikTok, isn't it? You know, you can't have boring stuff there because people are out. So I find YouTube the same. I just try and really cut the boring stuff out and just have a crack. And it takes time. It takes time. I've done, I think, 60 videos now, you know, but over a few years. So it's not like I just did a video and it went massive, because people don't subscribe. People are, I don't know if they're lazy or they don't care enough or they just don't want to. It's just
it takes time, and
it does take time. But then you get yourself to a point now. I can just put a video up and you just get your 10,000 views. And you go, cool, because that's this much money. I got the good exposure. The sponsors are happy. Everyone's happy. So it does get to that point where it's like, cool, I could show myself eating a hot dog. No, not quite. Pretty messy, but yeah. So that'd be my advice. Just have a crack. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, cool.
Have a crap video. Just delete it if you want. It's that simple.
If you shoot it and it's boring, just delete it.
Yeah,
but the fact that you actually put yourself on camera is practice and learning.
About
yourself.
I'm still like, I can't come up to you at an event and go, hey, go on, blah blah blah, and chat. because I'm still like shy about it.
Yep.
So I love what you're doing. I love to see the confidence and stuff like. It's all good. Like,
so I've been doing it for years. Like I've been doing it since 2017 when I was in Australia.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot more sort of balls about it. I
Yeah.
guess. But I remember the day that I went, right, I'm going to try and learn how to do this in public. And I walked through a shopping centre with a massive camera rig on a tripod in front of me, like on the thing, and just talked to the camera like I owned it.
How good.
It was full on, like everything that was going in my head and seeing everyone looking at me.
Yeah.
It was intense, but I can guarantee you it will change your life.
Wow. And I want to get there.
Let's do it. Do that.
Like if I'm filming and anybody's even walking in the car park, I'll just start talking quieter. And still, they're all my mates.
Yeah.
They're all gonna, like, you know, but it's just, it's not normal to me. It's not, it still hasn't become the norm, like to camera. Even to me, when I'm filming me, I'm just like, shit. Like, but, you know, like you said, it just takes time and yeah.
Cool. One last thing that I'll just bring up for people that are wanting to get into doing cars and young kids and stuff like that is a big thing that you said to me before. I actually said, do you want me to get you some cans and we'll have a drink? You don't drink. I didn't know this about you. I thought I'd seen you had a drink at an after party at one of the
I actually won the $500 bar tab.
Yeah, you did.
And I got a jug of raspberry. And I just said, buy whatever you want, I don't care.
Yep.
So I've just never drank, you know, I've never smoked.
Yep. So that'd be a big money saver.
That's all it was about for me.
Yep.
And I guess I'd see my mates drink, I'd still go out with them all. I'd still party harder than all of them because I guess ADD, party's hard. So I'd see them with the hangovers and the $200 less. Yep. Well, stuff that. Cars are too important to me, you know, and had so much focus on cars. That drinking and that just wasn't a thing. It's all good. I don't care. I don't care who drinks. I don't care who smokes. That's their choice, you know. But personally, for me, it just wasn't a thing. It's such a waste of time and money.
That's an admirable quality of yours. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm fully about everyone just doing their thing.
Yep.
I'm really not affected by anybody's anything, you know. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Cheers. It's been good.
Awesome.
Loved it. That was good. What do you reckon, Ben?
Talk shit? I can talk shit for hours.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.